Bruins ball to start this second half. David, what will these final 20 minutes come down to?
I think it's going to come down to execution. Both teams have gotten good looks. Both teams have changed it up defensively to make it hard for their opponent, but they both understand who they are offensively. Who's going to be able to execute better? Who's going to be able to limit turnovers, maybe force a couple in a full court press late on to break this game open.
Bruins getting inside. Billings can't get him to go, and Samuels with the rebound.
This is how we thought the game would start before we found out Billings wasn't, which is as much as UCLA can get her one-on-one on that low block with that size advantage over Shadeen Samuels. Billings, though, who's been so efficient all game, couldn't finish.
The back door left open, and Fountain finishes.
And Hilaire stuck on the bench for large stretches in that second quarter, watching. And that's what you want to see from a star player. When you're on the bench and you're still watching how the defense is lined up, finding ways to help your team when you get back out there.
Onyenware, who led the Bruins in the first half, keeps them rolling now.
Brown's got to understand that she has to keep Onyenware out on the perimeter. She doesn't want to shoot from there. Can take that step off to have an advantage and just keep your hands wide.
7-point game inside historic Welsh. And Hilaire fouled by Canada, and that is her third. Coach Close clapping her hands and saying from the UCLA sideline, Devin, you got to be aware.
And Coach Close now, this is where she makes her money. She's got to decide how she's going to handle Canada's foul situation here for the rest of the second half.
A steal by the Hall. Hilaire to a cutting Fountain. Great extra pass, and Brown's headed to the line because of it.
And that's the third foul on Burke as well. This is a UCLA team coming into this game, really only 7 players in the rotation. Dean returning, so now you've got an extra player in that rotation, but you've got foul trouble in the backcourt, and now you've got foul trouble with Burke in your front court.
Brown rattles it home, just 1 for 4 from the charity stripe in the first half.
And let's not forget as well that Burke ran point when Canada was out earlier in this game.
Interesting, right away, Tony Vazella is going to ride the hot hand of Jimenez.
And he's over in the corner talking to Hilaire as she comes off. Maybe took a knock off that previous foul on Canada.
Brown knocking both down, and this is the closest that Seton Hall has been since early in the second quarter.
Coach Pizzello's got Hilaire back up at midcourt, so it looked like he just wanted a quick word with her.
Billings, long on that attempt. Hard fought rebound, Brown falling out of bounds. And so it's back to the Bruins.
Billings has been so good when she's faced up in this game. She likes that mid-range jumper, that short jumper. She knows she has the size advantage on Samuels. It's almost like she's forcing herself to try and back her down when she doesn't have to.
Jordan, Canada. Hayes for 3.
Hayes off the catch looked reluctant. Wasn't happy with where she caught that basketball. Still goes up with it and hits the 3.
Hilaire racing. Samuels, well, she gets fouled, and they say it's on the floor.
Hilaire, though, once again, with heavy pressure in the backcourt, she just has the ability to dribble out of a phone booth.
3 fouls by UCLA in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter.
It was a factor in the first quarter. It helped Seton Hall stay close. It's going to be a factor here in the third.
And now a 4th. So in the first 2 minutes and change here in this third quarter, now Seton Hall will be at the charity stripe every time they get fouled the rest of this quarter. Fountain with 14 points on the day. 21 last Sunday against Boston College. And playing close to home, she showed out.
And if you're the Pirates, you got to take advantage now. You've got 7.5 minutes to play in the bonus against UCLA. You've got to hit your free throws, and you've got to be aggressive going to the basket. Force UCLA to continue to foul you.
Seton Hall at 11 for 16 from the charity stripe in this quarter, and another turnover by the Bruins.
Green Samuel showing why. At 5'11", she's the starting center for the Seton Hall team because she has played so smart for Coach Mazzella this season.
Brown gives it right back. Here comes the All-American, Jordan Canada. She could do it in her sleep.
Hilaire's got two personals. She understands the situation. She hopes Canada makes a mistake, and there's no chance.
The lead balloons to 9.
UCLA goes back into the zone. They're just continuing to change sets to not allow Seton Hall to get comfortable.
Jackson, no on that one. Pirates just 2 for 9 from three-point territory. And so that's why that zone's broken out. Jordan Canada cruising through the lane.
Jaquan Jackson celebrated before this game for her 1,000th career point. 0 right now, 0 for 4 from the field for Jackson.
Nicole Jimenez back in for Hilaire.
And with Jimenez shooting with confidence, she's more of a pure three-point shooter than Hilaire. So with Jackson struggling from the perimeter, you bring Jimenez in to try and help shoot UCLA out of the zone.
Jordan Canada putting on a show inside Walsh.
It's just too slow there, UCLA. The heavy trap up at midcourt. You got to move the basketball faster.
A 3, and now UCLA rolling. Dean knocking it down.